Out here today pulling cards and checking batteries on my trail cameras because it is almost prime time. It's the pre-rut right now. The rut is getting close. It's time to adjust my trail camera strategy. I'm going to share it with you. I hope you stick around. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. We are on the road to 25,000 subscribers, and we're hoping to get there by year end. So if you haven't done so already, I'd appreciate you hitting that subscribe button and following along. All right, it is late October as I'm filming this video, and it's time to adjust my trail camera strategy because we are in the pre-rut and the rut is getting close. So what I'm doing right now, I still have my trail cameras over food. I'm leaving those out, but I'm getting my full arsenal of trail cameras out right now. I'm focusing on scrapes, I'm focusing on travel corridors, and still focusing on the food. Now, my trail cameras that I'm putting out, every one of my cell cameras that aren't out right now, every one that I've got in hand are going out into the field right now because I want instant information. We're getting into the pre-rut and the rut. Bucks could show up out of anywhere. I'm here on the Missouri farm, the home farm, and frankly, we've only got one mature buck here, and he wasn't here all summer. He just showed up within the last probably 2 weeks. So another one could move in, so that's why I want cell cameras out to give me that feedback when one may show up, so we know that he's on the property and we need to be out here hunting. So I'm putting these cell cameras over food, and I'm putting them over scrapes, and I'm putting them over travel corridors. Any place, mainly any place that is hard for me to access. I'm still running my standard trail cameras, and those are the ones that are near fences or on the edges of the pasture, on my way into my hunting blinds like this blind you see behind me. But I'm actually putting this cell camera right here on this post to cover this spot because it's kind of a hard spot to get to. We only come back here when we're hunting. So I've got this Vision Pro HD that I'm putting over, we call this the interstate plot. I don't know if you can hear the background noise, but the interstate is kind of over this hill. It's really loud back here. So this camera's going here. It's a hard place to access, so cell cameras back here. But I'm gonna put this over this food plot. The food plot doesn't look good at all. It's been a horrible year for planting again. It's like the third year in a row. But we planted this and got a little bit of rain, and then it was dry for 3 weeks almost, and the food plot came up, seed came up, and it just burned off. So we've got pretty much a dirt food plot here with a little bit of browse in here. But this is still a highly traveled area. We always get any mature buck that we've got on the farm runs through this area. So I'm deploying this Vision Pro HD here. Now this one also is an infrared camera because I want to be bright. They're going to be moving across here. They're not going to be looking directly at this camera, so I'm not worried about them seeing the infrared flash, which as long as they're not looking directly at the camera, they will not see the red glow. So that's what I want, to get bright pictures right here. So I'm setting this one up. Also, they're going to be moving through here fairly fast, probably because there's not much browse out here. So I've got this one set on a 4-shot rapid fire as I get them walking across here, because they're going to walk across the camera like this. So that's the plan right here. We're going to get this one set up, and I'll take you to another food plot where we're going to talk about a different strategy. One other quick tip here. Browning trail cameras come with this really nice nylon strap to attach your camera to a post here like this, or a tree, and they're pretty long, you know, to give you the ability to strap it around a pretty large tree. But when you're putting these out, make sure you wrap your strap around a tree and then get it tied up, because if you just leave it flapping in the wind, deer will see that and they will come and mess with it. I've seen them put it in their mouth and jerk on it. But just make sure you tidy things up so it doesn't draw any attention to your setup here. So just a quick tip on keeping your setup nice and clean. A lot of times a single camera can't cover the entire food plot. That's the case on this interstate plot back here. I've got the cell camera covering the bulk of the food plot, kind of the center, but there's some little areas that cell camera is not going to reach. So I'm going to deploy some standard trail cameras there and keep them on video mode. This time of year, I like as much video as possible. So I'm putting these cameras on each end of this interstate plot, again, where that cell camera can't reach. But the cell camera is right in the middle of the food plot, and it's covering the major travel route. So if I get a picture on my cell camera, I'm going to come back here and hunt these, and I've got these regular trail cameras positioned in a point where I can run in here as I'm coming up to the blind to hunt it. I can pull these cards really easily without disturbing anything, and then go up into the blind and review them as I'm up there. But also that video gives me the most information possible. So I've got my cell camera covering the middle of this food plot. That's going to give me pictures, and then I've got cameras on each end of it that's going to give me video. There's not a spot on this food plot that I'm not covering. Scrapes are a huge part of my pre-rut trail camera strategy. Behind me here is a perennial scrape. Every buck on the property will hit this scrape one time or another. It's over the gate plot. There's some 3 or 4 limbs that stick out and hang out about 10 or 12 feet into the gate plot, and they're just really wide. It's probably about 15 to 20 feet of limbs across here, and it'll be one giant scrape the length of that. And like I say, every buck on the farm will hit this. So I've got a Dark Ops FHD behind me, and I've got it set on video mode because I want to see how the deer not only are hitting the scrape, but I want to see what's going on beyond the scrape into the food plot to see how the bucks are reacting with the does, because there will be 6 or 8 does in this food plot every single evening, and bucks coming through here hitting these. Some of them are bumping does. The mature ones aren't right now, but again, every single deer will hit this scrape. So I've got the Dark Ops, as I mentioned, because of the invisible flash. Deer are going to be right up in the camera. The camera's going to be right in their face, so I don't want them potentially seeing an infrared flash. So I've got an invisible flash out there. They don't even know that the camera's there. And again, set on video mode. I've got this camera set on 2 minutes because sometimes we'll have deer in here, but there'll be right in the scrape that'll trip the camera, and there'll be deer back behind me walking through here. I've gotten multiple times where something may come to the scrape, trips the camera, and then a minute and a half later, a buck walks across the food plot. So again, good travel corridor, got scrapes here. I've got the Dark Ops FHD right on the scrape, and I'm also, like I said earlier, I've got multiple cameras covering this entire food plot because deer travel through here. I want to see every direction they're coming from and where they're going, and I make sure that this entire food plot is covered. Well, that covers my pre-rut and rut trail camera strategies. So for recap, I'm heavily focused on scrapes during the pre-rut. I've got those cameras set on video mode, and I'm using invisible flash cameras because they're right up in front of the camera. We don't want them seeing that infrared flash. I'm carrying over my summer strategy with cameras over food sources. Deer still got to eat, so you're still going to get that information. You still need them over food sources, but I'm changing them from picture mode to video mode because I want to see how the deer are interacting with each other. See if those big bucks are starting to bump does. You know that the little bucks are, but it can kind of give you some misinformation with just the pictures only. You'd be surprised at how much additional information you get out of a video. Also on that, with it in video mode, your camera may trip and you may have a young buck bumping a doe, and then steps behind that, 10, 15, 20 seconds behind that, here comes the mature buck. That's why video is important right now, especially over food plots where the does are going to be, the bucks are going to be coming in bumping them. And then I've got my cameras set on travel routes right now, trails, pinch points, different things like that where deer are going to be moving because the bucks are traveling starting to. The young bucks are for sure. Again, some good bucks are starting to show up on camera. One other thing that I didn't mention, over my food plots, again, I have multiple cameras because I want to see which direction those deers are coming in, which way they're exiting. So 3 cameras, 4 cameras, depending on the size of the food plot, to make sure we cover every little square inch. But I've got that cell camera covering the bulk of it, so I can get that instant feedback and know that, hey, there's a buck here, I need to come hunt. So I hope I didn't ramble on too much, but that is it. That's my pre-rut and rut trail camera strategies. The next time that we'll do another one of these videos, we get into the post-rut and we start to change our strategy up just a little bit again, but we'll cover that when we get there. Hopefully we'll have a good buck down by then and may not even have to mess with trail cameras, but either way, we'll talk about it. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. Let me know what your trail camera strategies are right now, what you're doing. Maybe I can learn something from you. And of course, if you kill a good deer, be sure to let me know down in the comments. I wish you could post a picture to YouTube, but I don't guess you can because I'd love to see it. But anyways, I appreciate y'all sticking around. I hope you have a great deer season, and we'll see you next time.